the new icons that our lovely Fork Puff has drawn for us. And feel free to ask questions of the players, because they're very interesting people and they have lots of interesting things to talk about.
Ask us questions.
Praise me.
Yeah, or praise. I mean, we like questions, we like praise. That's fair. You can even taunt us if you like, but you know that probably won't go as well. Can I say how lit this map has become, by the way?
Thank you. More Cake, are you being facetious because you can't see it?
Did I get it before you?
No, but in all honesty, it's really, really cool. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I used Incarnate to do the map.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're a really cool website. They've been doing stuff for a while, and they just keep getting better. Oh, thanks, Plaster.
No worries, no worries. Ooh. Check this out. Which one?
Oh, thank you for the subscription, Plastered.
Closing in on a year, boy. Nice.
I can't believe it. It's so funny. Like I don't even know how did we find you? I can't even remember. I do remember uh your game nights, and that I think was like one of my first very fond memories.
Yeah, I feel like it started over Jackbox. Hey, Nick, what's up? I didn't jump over in time to see Maddie's amazing character art. I don't need to see it to know it was amazing, but I did see it.
I think Tyrion probably took the longest. It's because I messed up something though. It was just simply because I messed something up, and the braids are so hard to draw.
I'm sorry that I had braided hair.
Don't you ever do that again to me.
I promise. It's just I don't have any hair in real life, so I'm just kind of with the hair of my character.
Gotta compensate.
I was definitely overcompensating.
All right. Well, it looks like everybody is in their place. In a good way, of course. So now I can officially welcome you to the Action Sturge. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We have a wonderful game for you. We'll be doing our Dungeon World campaign as we return to the Borderlands to find out exactly what is going to become of this resurrection business. And the group, I think, last time found out some Crimson Blade troops are on the move. The orcs have broken through the northern pass and have invaded the Borderlands, and Argoth the Unhinged is in what was that town called? Hawthorne is in Hawthorne. You guys are safely tucked away at the sanctuary for right now, which is not even a day's travel outside of the the town of Hawthorne. Probably like a half a day to a quarter of a day's travel. And something wrong with the audio? Hear John loud and clear. Others are very low. Interesting. Um, hmm.
Test talking
Yeah, go ahead. Well, we'll definitely do it. Yeah, yeah. So we'll have everybody just introduce their character. Um, we'll start with the Deacon Smith, and then if you guys continue to hear some problems with the sound, just let me know, and I will tweak some things on my end. We'll start with the Deacon Smith. Tell me about your character, and tell us who you are as well. Oh, push to talk.
Hello, I am the Deacon Smith. I will be playing Rook, the halfling thief, and yep, that's it. Check my phone.
Yeah, I'm messing with the sound. I've got Discord. I've got Discord's volume up is like almost as loud as it can go. I'm not quite sure what's. Oh, hold on one second. Oh yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Plastered.
Hey, Brian here, aka the Plastic Dragon. I am playing Tyrion, the somewhat zealous cleric and protector of the downtrodden. And if I'm not loud enough, let me know. I can shout.
I think I figured it out. For some reason, yeah, I think I figured it out. We're good.
Do you want me to talk again?
I think yeah. So I think you're good. Yeah.
Excellent. Then I will go back on mute.
Thank you. All right, Fork Puff.
Hello, everybody. I am playing Harrison. I am a human bard.
Anything interesting about Harrison that we need to know before we start?
I mean, everything about him is quite interesting. He's very flamboyant, very center of the spotlight. He likes girls a lot, even though people say otherwise. He does not.
All right, moving on to Terry. Tell us a little bit about Aziz and yourself.
Hello, my name is Terry. I'm playing Aziz, the halfling druid. Not much to say about myself, but Harrison, it's not that we don't think you like girls, we just think you are one.
He's very fair. And Moracake.
Hi, I'm Markcake. So I'll be playing my new character, Horus, and his friendly, big, burly bear companion, Boris, human ranger, and he's a bit of a laid-back goof. That's all you need to know.
Awesome, cool. So that's the crew. We're getting before we get into this, if you find yourself tuning in every week and you haven't done so already, check out go to our Twitch page, check out our socials, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and yeah, just hit all those socials so you know when we're streaming and when we upload new content. So check that out. And of course, if you like dice, and who doesn't, check out dndwow.com. They are our friends, and they send us dice to give away sometimes, which makes them very nice. And yeah, and if you use our code, theactionsturge, at checkout, you can get 10% off of all metal-colored dice at dndwow.com. So check them out, get some dice. It's very nice. And with that, let's begin. So last time some shit was going down. You guys are currently in the sanctuary. Horace was not here last time, so we didn't get to meet this lovely character, but we're gonna meet Horace right now. So Horace, what do you do when you're? What does Horace do when he's out in the middle of the woods with Boris?
I'm not gonna lie to you, John. He mostly sleeps on a bit of a cart that Boris is pulling. So he's probably just like hat down, sleeping, not having a care in the world, bumps everywhere, that kind of thing. Boris probably slams Horace into a tree or something. Like wakes up for like a second and just goes back to sleep.
Very nice. So on this day, you are out sleeping, and there's been some commotion. You're near the town of Hawthorne. You know of Sanctuary. You've probably passed through there a couple times. So you're in the area. You know that there's a decent number of Crimson Blade soldiers who come through the area from time to time looking for bandits. But they usually don't really bother you. I assume because there's nothing really to get from it. And yeah, well, yeah. and they're probably a little scared of Boris because they just don't know. And
I can promise you that Boris is more scared of them.
Yeah, they might not know. So it's no surprise to you when you can hear some movement up the path. The sound of fallen twigs breaking and leaves crunching. Boris doesn't seem too interested, I think, until you also hear the sound of a stifled gasp. What do you do?
I slowly look up towards the sound of the gasp.
Okay. So ahead of you, the path lies empty.
Hey, Boris, would you just hold on a second there, bud?
And do you want to play Boris, or do you want me to play Boris?
John, I would love it if you played Boris for me.
Okay. So Boris doesn't listen to you, right?
It's more that he's aloof than anything. Like, he doesn't really remember stuff that well.
So he's going to. So you tell him to not go investigate, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm telling him to like stop so I can go investigate first because I don't want him to hurt himself.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he kind of like looks back at you, and then his butt will flop firmly to the ground, and he'll just kind of watch you.
I take my long stick that I use for walking sometimes, and I'm slowly approaching the path ahead, trying to see anything that could have, or anyone who could have gasped around here.
Okay. Give me a discern realities, and it looks like you're in Foundry now, but do you have a character?
Yeah, damn. He's here, but his stats wasn't saved. I have the second Horace, so to speak, because we made 2 sheets, remember? Because the first one didn't work.
Right. So let's see. Check out that huge horse. Does that look right?
Everything looks right except that my stats and health isn't here, like, properly. Like on the character sheet.
Oh, really? Like 18 health and or is it doing that weird thing where it's just
Yeah, no, I have 10 health and 10 in every stat.
Oh my goodness. It's doing that weird thing again.
This literally happened last time too. Goddamn. Was it always me? Why?
I don't know. I wonder what will happen when you go to roll and stuff. I wonder if that's what's going on. It's so weird. But yeah, so go ahead and discern realities for me. We'll see if it adds your bonus and stuff.
Yeah, I can't click it to roll, even.
There you go.
Alright, there we go, and I did not have any bonuses.
But you should have, right? Because it's a wisdom. Weird. Why does it?
Yeah, that would have been a plus 1, I believe.
I don't understand why it hates you.
Just a very hateable guy.
Well, no, never. Not you. Okay, so a plus 1 to that, so that'll be an 8. Okay, so we'll get to ask one question.
What is about to happen?
So, so you see nothing on the path in front of you until you walk down a little ways, and you're actually going to see. You'll be standing there. You could be looking around, and then you'll hear a soft pat 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 on the ground. And when you look down, you can see there's something on the path, something liquid, something wet, falling from above you.
I slowly look up.
When you look up, you see what looks like a so you'll see a person in armor hanging from atop a tree, and something when you look up, something is going to pull it up, pull the body up further into the tree. Very briefly, you'll see a leg that has like a gorilla like hand on it, sort of like pushing itself up the tree. You'll see a flash of fur, perhaps, and the body goes further up into the leaves, out of your vision. And then you start hearing.
Boris, I believe we're going to have a very eventful day today.
Well, and then you start hearing some more branches rustling from a couple other trees as well. Some movement. What do you do?
Right after I've said my little speech to Boris, I pull up my bow, and I scream out, anyone else here? Or is it just gorillas? People in armor?
Boris joins you at your side and gives a not so much a growl as an uncertain whinny. And as you challenge the trees, all movement stops as you call out.
Boris, we're in quite a predicament here. Zoinks. I'm gonna get on. Let's see. I'll loosen the cart from Boris, and I'm gonna tell him to climb up the tree.
Which tree?
The tree in which the leg and the gorilla hand was in.
Okay. So he'll look at you and he'll like look at the tree and then he'll look back at you and he'll like cock his head to the side. Like, really?
I mean, it might be honey up there. Anything can happen. I can't climb up there. You know that. You see my physique.
And he'll start to climb up the tree. While he's doing that, let's check in on everybody else. What is everybody doing in Sanctuary? I assume this is like next morning kind of stuff, because you guys had like a little outing the previous night, or at least I think Aziz and Rook did. So what's going on?
Imagine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with the best way to take out Argoth.
Yeah, imagine we're just, trying to get a game plan together.
Yeah, I think first priority is taking out Argoth. And also, is there a way of sending a message to someone like Dwemir?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have his you have Gaspard's or one of Gaspard's mistresses or courtesans or yeah. Okay, what's her name again? Natalie. She either is or was at the camp. If you wanted to send a message along with her, perhaps. I think what was she doing? She was hanging out with Harrison last, I believe.
She was trying to, but Harrison shut her down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Being all angsty and shit. So yeah,
All
so she might still be around. And I remember you had a conversation with her last time where you were kind of putting together that it's weird that she's out here and it's like she's probably not alone, and you had a conversation.
It's weird that she got here ahead of us.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's weird that she got here ahead of us.
Well, she didn't travel with you. I don't know if she was here. I don't think she was here necessarily before you guys, but it seemed like she arrived, if not at the same time, very, very soon after.
So it's possible. Oh, that's right. And she told us that Stefan could track us, but that didn't explain how she found us or was able to follow us back to Sanctuary.
Right. Now, and then there was also a conversation you had with her about the shifting of power and Gaspard wanting Stefan out of the picture, and I think she had told you that Gaspard knows that Dwemir is working against him as well, but you were able to deduce with your incredible insight that this might be a test of some sort to see whether or not you would betray someone that you're in cahoots with.
So I want to send a letter to Dwemir and I want to seal it.
Okay.
And it's basically going to say that Gaspard is aware of the plans. And that still wants Stefan out of the way. So I think there may be a chance to collaborate here if we shift somewhat. But and that if this seal has been broken or looks to have been tampered with in any way, and I'll try and make the seal as tight as I can so that any tampering with it would damage the paper.
Okay.
And say that if the seal's been tampered with, it means that Gaspard's agents read the note and that you should consider me compromised as well, but that I wouldn't go back on our agreement even if things looked bleak. I might try to compromise with Gaspard if I thought our chances of succeeding were better, but dance with the girl you came in with and all that. And I'll let him know about the fact that Stefan is almost certainly tracking me or tracking our group, which I don't know if he's tracking him as well. I don't know what the extent of those abilities are, but it may offer him more latitude to move freely, and he may want to test that out and see what he can get away with.
Okay. Yeah, so just kind of bringing him up to speed with everything. And...
Yep.
Okay. All right,
with
yeah.
suspicions and stuff. And then, seal it and then go see Natalie.
Okay. And so she is actually getting ready to leave. She said she was going to spend the night and then she would be leaving in the morning. So she is getting ready to leave, but she'll take your letter and she nods.
I'm gonna say, I'm glad I caught you. May I have a word privately, if you don't mind?
She'll read your lips and she'll nod and she'll say, yes, of course.
This letter is for Dumir, and I'm obviously going out and taking a leap of faith in trusting you to deliver it without reading it, but here we are. But that is not what I wished to ask you. You seemed genuinely hurt after your conversation with Harrison last night. I noticed the pain on your face.
Yes.
Harrison is very dear to me. Do you truly care about him?
I care for him as much as I am able to. In my line of work, those kind of feelings don't really turn out well for anybody.
And then, like, in the background, Harrison's, like, chasing a fucking butterfly.
Yeah, exactly. I understand, but...
He's a wonderful idiot.
He is a wonderful idiot. This is why I look after him as I do. Though, lately he's needed much less looking after, I must confess. He's grown quite a bit since I've known him. But still, I feel protective even if I'm not sure I need to. And I do not desire to see him hurt, but neither do I desire to see him miss something true. So I ask you again honestly, should I advocate for you on his behalf? Or advocate for him? No. Wait. Should I advocate for you to him?
She looks a little saddened by this, and she's going to, but she is going to consider it for a moment. And she'll look back up at you, and she'll say, "I think it's better the way it is."
This saddens me.
It saddens her too. You can see that
You've
much.
seen us do great deeds and stand up to powerful people, and still we stand. Do not be afraid to chase that which you believe in. Don't answer now, but think on this as you travel.
She'll nod, and she looks like she wants to. There's a lot she looks like she wishes she could say, but even though you can't see the chains that bind her, they are apparent enough in her behavior. She'll like rally herself and she'll smile and she'll say, I suspect that we'll be seeing each other again soon.
I expect that as well. Safe travels, fair Natalie.
And she'll nod, and she'll actually step off the path, moving towards Hawthorne.
And then I'll head over to Harrison and throw an arm around him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like a whole like a bunch of like wildflowers in my hand.
Now, like, how about that, Natalie? Huh? Just gonna
Yes,
get-
I think she's actually leaving soon, so I have to get this bouquet of flowers to her. I made sure there are no bugs on them, and I chased around a
Oh, then
butterfly
you
for a
best
little while.
hurry. She just turned around to leave. Go, man, go!
Ah, and I'm gonna not gonna throw the bouquet up, but
And
throw
I'll
my
shove Harrison in her direction.
yeah, and then I'll scurry that direction.
Okay. What's Aziz and or anything in particular that Aziz and Rook are doing? You were planning.
So I am, yeah, I'm reminding Rook of the poison we made.
The poison.
Oh, Cusco's poison.
Cusco's poison. The poison
Yeah.
for Cusco.
Hold up. Is it only me or is it Maddie's webcam? You're really bugging out?
It's fine on mine.
It is fine for me as well. She always looks like that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What I mean to say is she always looks beautiful.
It's back to normal now.
I'll see myself out. So yeah, so the poison for Cusco.
Yes, and just didn't know if he had any ideas on the best way to administer it.
Well, we need to case the place out again. It's just getting back there and doing it in a safe way.
Yes, especially since there are more and more soldiers coming in hourly.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need to bring everyone, but we'll probably so. Just in case.
Yeah, maybe not everybody in the town, but at least nearby.
Right.
And Clive will say, we'll never be able to move around freely through the town with all those posters up.
I've only seen one poster.
They've got them hanging up in the tavern. I think they've got them hanging up the tower as well.
Well, we'll have to go in disguise.
At this, Clive is gonna light up. He says, "Disguise, you say? Well, it turns out that I'm quite adept at disguises."
Excellent. That's what we need.
I'll have you know that I've won 3 awards for acting, and 2 of them were legit.
Well, I don't know how much acting will be involved, but yeah, the disguise part will be very handy.
Yeah, and he's going to rush off to and to his tent, and he says to gather materials.
Cool. I will work on locating the poison and whatnot.
Well, you guys have the poison, right?
It's right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Is there anybody else in particular you wanted to get in on this?
I don't think so.
Well, I definitely want to talk with Tyrion to make sure we get the proper sacrifice.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And I'll remind you too that because you would know that Zarthus and the other bandits are planning on making a run into the town to try to nab some of the supplies that are coming in.
Okay.
But-
So we can always try to coordinate with them because that'll probably be a good distraction.
Well, they're going to need a distraction for that assault.
So we're going to be the distraction and draw all of the attention away.
Sort of.
Standing. I love it. I don't love it.
So they're there too if you want to coordinate with them. And then you said you needed to go talk to Tyrion.
Well, I mean, I'm going to make sure he's informed of all of this going on.
Okay.
I probably come wandering over about this point.
Yeah. As Clive is leaving, you're coming in. Clive stops to like get some like quick kind of like, he looks at your face. He's like putting you in the little picture, like he's like doing a little like picture frame of your face, and he's guessing your size and like your bust and your waist, and then he runs off.
I'm sure that bodes well. I'll let them know what I just did with Natalie and that it's either going to help us or doom us.
Well, we're pretty much already doomed, so, what can it harm?
That's why I figure it.
Nonsense.
Well, sorry, we're not doomed, but we can't do much worse than we've already done.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So Harrison, you're running after Natalie.
Yes.
You're able to catch up with her on the path. Maybe a stumble here or there, but she'll look back and she'll look back at you and see. Actually, no, she won't. Yeah, 'cause she won't hear you coming. So she'll just be walking along.
Yeah, so I'll be like, wait, oh wait. So then I'll like run ahead of her and then stick out the bouquet of flowers and with my head down and then like flash the fucking Flynn Rider smolder
So when you do that, you don't know where she was concealing this dagger, but it comes out lightning quick, and it's going to chop all of the heads off of the flowers as she stands fiercely defensive to this person who is accosting her on the path.
Yeah, and then I'll look at the missing flower heads and then look at the flower heads on the ground and look at her and go, "Oh my."
She'll flash you a smile, and she says, had you been any closer, that would have been your throat, and you would have lost that lovely singing voice that I wish I could hear.
Really? I figured you were allergic.
She'll laugh, and she says, anything you have to say, Harrison, go ahead and say it. I'm in a hurry.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say I enjoyed our time that we've got to spend together, and I just wanted to send you off with a proper goodbye, and he like looks back at the ground and he's like, well, I was going to get you some flowers, and if you still want what's left of them, I can try and gather them up, but...
Last night's send-off wasn't good enough, she says a little coldly.
Listen, Natalie, I don't know. Well, I do know that you have lost somebody very close to you, and I know that you know that grief is something that isn't overcome easily. And I apologize for that.
Apology accepted. And she'll continue to walk past you down the path.
Wait, Natalie, come. She can't hear me. And then he'll run again in front of her and put his hands out as if to stop her.
She'll stop again. She'll look up. A flash of impatience crosses her face, but softens immediately. What do you say?
Natalie, we can't end it just at this. I have to know. I didn't hurt you, and that was never my intention. I know I seem to be somewhat of a womanizer, but I'm definitely not.
And she'll consider that for a moment, and then she'll say, "It was my fault for putting myself in a position to be hurt." And then she'll walk past you again.
I'm going to grab her by her wrist this time.
This time she'll when you grab her by the wrist, she'll like judo flip you.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, you're such a bitch.
And then
I'll land on my back and all the air will get knocked out of me.
And then she says, she'll look at you so you can see her how serious she is, and she says, "Do not mistake my kindness for weakness." And she will continue down the path.
It was not a mistake. And he'll slowly, I guess, sit up and stand up, dust himself off, and see that she's determined, I guess, to walk ahead solemnly.
Horace, what are you doing? You've been there the whole time.
Have I seen this?
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing?
you were like literally standing there the whole time. Boris is like climbing up the tree.
Yeah, like I'm trying to help, like push him up a little bit, like on his rump, and I'm like looking at this, like, huh, Harrison, is that you?
Don't worry, homeless man. It was only a lover's quarrel.
All right, you youngin'. I know it's been a couple of years, but still.
Hold on a second. And he's gonna squint and he's gonna go, Horace, the years have been awful to you, man. How are you?
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't seem to have done you a lot better. I mean, same thing scenario with the girls, I see.
Mm-hmm. And crow's feet.
Yes, but I don't have near as many wrinkles, and I will offer you a handkerchief to clean up your dirt.
Ah, thanks. And he just, like, dusts off his, like, forehead, like, that's it.
Oh, I meant... Never mind. And he'll just stuff it into his, like, his little satchel. And, he'll look to you and he'll say, what are you doing in this area?
Oh, just wandering about. And by the way, do you know of any gorillas in the forest?
Could I make a discern realities check for that?
Maybe a spout lore.
About lore?
Oh,
A
yeah.
10.
There are absolutely no gorillas in this area.
Yeah, so I'll like pull out my little map and like double check where I am. Sanctuary's here, Hawthorne's here, and if this is where we are, there should absolutely be no gorillas in this area whatsoever. What have you been eating?
Oh, then we're in for a treat. And I look up. That Boris is probably like halfway up at this point, hopefully.
Yeah, and as if on
oh my
cue...
God, that's a
That's a bear. And as if on cue, a body will fall from the canopy and land right next to or right beside Horace and Harrison, and it's got crimson blade colors on it, and it's got some chainmail armor, and it is and there's no head.
Well, whatever it is, I hope it's on our side. Caw-caw!
Hey Boris, you can come down now. It's fine, boy. Down.
And the treetops will begin to shudder again, or rustle. And Harrison, when you look up to the treetops, you'll see something that propels itself from one tree to another. It's very quick. You just see a flash of fur, and then it like crossing the path from one tree to another, and then you see it. But it seems to be coming to the tree closer to you both, and I'd say there's about 5 rustling trees at this point. And the tree above you starts to rustle as well. What do you guys do?
Harrison, catch Boris, and I start to run.
Boris lets go of the tree branch. That would be a defy danger. Strength?
Let me see here. How about Constitution for enduring?
Yeah, okay. Nope. So, Boris will absolutely flatten you.
I leveled up though.
You see like one like mangled thumbs up coming out from under Boris's butt. So yeah, so you'll get flattened, and Boris will sort of land on you and then quickly run after Horus as well. And there's probably some damage attached to that.
Harrison, stop dilly-dallying and get a move on.
What kind of damage does Boris do?
John, you're asking me what kind of damage a big dumb bear does when he lands on people. I don't know. I have no clue.
Let me check.
Squashing damage.
I think he doesn't actually he doesn't attack. He helps me attack things and that kind of stuff.
Oh, gotcha. I'll just roll your damage.
Maybe.
So yeah, so you'll take 4 damage from that, Harrison, and so he gets off, and then immediately, because you're on your back, you're looking up into the tree, and you're gonna see a human face looking down at you. It's surrounded by like a wild mane of like animal fur, and it's a human face, and it looks as though it has been like the mouth has been cut to accommodate a mouthful of twisted, sharp teeth, and its nose has been completely removed, so that just like 2 like nostril holes, like the skull holes are there, and it's gonna like look at you curiously. Its eyes are yellow orbs, and it's going to begin moving down the trunk of the tree towards you. What do you do? Horace, Horace, what are you doing actually? Where are you?
I mean, after getting a bit of safe distance, I would like to pull out my bow, and if I do see this creature like crawling towards Harrison, I would like to try and shoot it with my bow.
Yeah, that's fine. And you're gonna get a different perspective on it. You're gonna see. So it looks like a hyena. But its legs, instead of paws on each foot, it's actually got like these gorilla hands that it's gripping the tree with and climbing down the tree with, and you can't really see its face, but basically it like looks like a hyena, but like with a flat face.
Would the creature be considered surprised by me?
I think. I mean, it's focused on. Yeah, it seems to be focused on Harrison, so I'll give you that.
Okay, then I'd like to try and do a called shot at the. Yeah, I'll do it at the legs. Try and get it so they become hobbled and slow moving.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's a 12 right there.
Yes, that is an amazing
So
success.
so they're hobbled and slow moving, and I also that's a 1.
Okay, yeah. So you do the 1 damage, and then it's you're gonna hit it in its leg. It's gonna fall from the trunk of the tree towards Harrison. Harrison, what are you doing? As the creature falls towards you.
I guess I'm gonna try to defy danger again.
What will you do?
Get out of the way.
All right. Go ahead and defy danger with Dex.
Yeah, no speaking is gonna get me out of this situation.
Harrison seems to spend a lot of time on his back.
Help!
You might level up twice today.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that let's see. I'm gonna say that you it's gonna land kind of like on you, but then you're slowly be able to like wiggle out from under it. But the bad thing that happens is that Horace, now you can see that there's 5 more of these things, and they're all descending or they're all jumping from tree to tree, and surrounding you from the treetops.
Harrison, I blame you.
Yeah, I'm doing my the warning emergency call for Tyrion.
Are they close enough to hear it?
It's Harrison. Are you kidding me?
Are you guys close enough to hear it?
More than likely. I mean, he just went after Natalie. They didn't make it very far before having that conversation.
Okay. So you guys will be strategizing your poison thing. Clive has actually emerged from his tent, and he's got a whole bundle of supplies. And just as he's about to bestow that supplies on your persons, you're going to hear the caw caw, the most melodic caw you've ever heard.
Did you hear that? Nothing? Oh, must be my imagination.
Must have been the wind.
Let's go. I know that sound anywhere.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna head off running toward the caca.
Alright, so you guys will be on your way. As of right now, these things are surrounding you guys in the treetops. What are you guys doing? Are you making a stand, or are you running?
Oh, I would like to do something, actually.
What would you like to do?
I have an advanced move called It Goes to 11. Once I can actually stand up, I would like to unleash a crazed performance and choose a target who can hear me and roll charisma.
Okay.
On a 10+, the target attacks their nearest ally in rage. On a 7 through 9, they attack their nearest ally, but you also draw their attention in ire. Which, oh well.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Unleash that crazed performance with that righteous lute solo.
Yeah, it's like a bird solo, so it's like and I'm like strumming that lute really hardcore.
Very nice. Which choose a target who can hear you. I guess
the one. the one closest to me, and I want it to go attack any of its 5 little buddies.
Okay. So yeah. So it will. So one of those buddies will actually be leaping from the tree directly towards you with its hands outstretched and its mouth twisted in this like twisted smile. And as it jumps towards you, the one that's on the ground that you're playing to is going to jump up and sort of tackle it in midair, and they will start to fight. However, that does not stop the other 4 from descending upon the trees as well. One is coming after Horus.
I would like to jump on Boris's back. I would like to tell him to go towards Harrison so I can pick him up. And I like Boris to assist me with travel because that's one of his skills from cunning.
Okay.
So I would like to try and what's it called? Defy danger and add his cunning to the roll.
Okay, absolutely.
We're running away. We're getting the F out of town.
Yeah. Would that be dexterity?
That seems good.
To like sort of dodge and weave, because all these things like are trying to like they're like springing from the trees and trying to like tackle you off of him.
Is there any way I can aid at all?
Possibly. How would you do so?
Well, let's see how this roll goes first, and then we'll determine if I aid.
Okay. And you get to add.
And that would have the +2 on it.
Right. Instead of a +1, it'd be a +2, right?
No, that was with wisdom. So actually, just with dex, that would be 11. 10. Sorry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So so that'd be 10, and then he also gives you a bonus. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, 10 is good. 10 is all you need.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Accidentally put this in realities.
Yeah. So you'll be able to dodge and weave these creatures that are coming out of the trees towards you, and sort of as they miss, they sort of tumble, but they spring back up, and they run on all fours, but now they're basically chasing the bear that you're on. So there's 4 of these things behind you, and then 2 more that are fighting on the ground thanks to Harrison's righteous solo. But you'll be able to sort of run towards Harrison. And I guess just like swing him up on board, or maybe Boris can like bump him up on his nose and like.
Yeah, I like the second. You like bump it up.
Yeah, so he'll like bump him up, and then he'll go like kind of flying up onto the bear, and then at this point, I think, are you running towards Sanctuary or away from Sanctuary?
Towards Sanctuary.
Okay, so at this point, you're running towards Sanctuary. Aziz, Tyrion, and Rook are running out of Sanctuary. You've gotten some way down the path, and now you're going to see a bear being ridden by the first person you see on it is Harrison, and then behind him is this other person that some of you may recognize, and that is what you will see. Harrison, how are you reacting to being on the front of the bear?
There's no saddle on this thing!
Well, you're on his head, you know. It's not really a spot for a saddle.
I don't say it aloud, but for some reason I'm not surprised to see that.
Danger, 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 danger!
And then you will see the 4 terrifying creatures that are chasing after them. What do you guys do?
Hide behind the nearest stream.
Okay, so you'll dip off the path. What about Tyrion?
I'm shouting to Harrison, "What is it?" And I've got the I've got the staff out, and I'm like, starting to swing it around, and I'm just charging forward.
It's scary.
Aziz, what about you?
I'm going ostrich.
Okay.
Go
Yes.
in ostrich.
Go ahead and roll. Oh, you already did. 8. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. You snuck it in there.
And I'm with Formcrafter. I am taking +1 forward to strength.
Oh, nice. Okay. And all right, cool. So so they're basically chasing after. I'd say this is as Boris and company sort of push past you guys and sort of run past you guys. In their wake are these creatures. Now seeing fresh prey, these creatures will sort of slow their pace and sort of fan out a little bit, trying to surround the two of you, Tyrion and Ostrich Aziz. And so they sort of they sort of fan out to encircle both of you. They also seem to be, yeah. But so what are you guys gonna do?
I was gonna take the one to the far left to keep us from getting surrounded.
Okay, so try to stop him from surrounding you guys.
Yes.
All right.
I think I might cast a spell.
Okay.
I think maybe magic missile.
Okay. And one of them
I'll
is,
tag a different one just to kind of show them we mean business.
yeah, sure. So spell first.
Yes, I guess.
I'm sorry. How many was it? You said 4?
4 of them, yeah. One is actually trying to trying to surround them on the right side. One is coming kind of close to your hiding space, Rook.
Okay.
Ooh, very nice.
Why won't you show up?
So go ahead and roll damage for
What
your
did I get?
spell. You got a 12.
Ooh, I like that.
I know. So call upon your mighty magic missile. Nice. Yeah, you're gonna blast one of them back, and it's gonna throw it for a loop. And as it flies back and sort of hits the ground, maybe it was even leaping towards you. As it flies back and hits the ground, it's going to snort and snarl, and then it's going to actually sort of dip out off of the path and back into the forest. The one on the far left that the ostrich was going after is now sort of seeing what you're doing and trying to like basically get around you, even if that means through you. So it's sort of snarling, and you can see that it's like taking this big intake of breath. Aziz, what do you do?
I kick him in the face.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 7. That's a partial success. So you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you. So basically, what's going to happen is go ahead and do your damage. Nice. So you're going to kick it in the face, and then you will, as you do this, it's going to exhale this cloud out of its nostrils. And when the cloud encompasses you, it starts to make you like kind of sleepy. There's an effect to it that makes you kind of drowsy and sleepy. How will you resist the effect?
Constitution.
Okay, Go ahead and roll Defy Danger with Constitution. Ooh, very nice. You rolled you rolled a 10, so you power through, or you endure no problem, and you're able to maybe you rise your head above it.
Exactly.
Rook, what are you doing?
The one that's coming close in on me, I will wait for the opportune moment and come at it. Will do a forward somersault and come up with my rapier.
Okay. Cool.
Oh,
Very
11.
nice. All right. What do you get to do?
For a back step. My damage plus 2d6.
Okay.
Because I have the feat, what you call it, cheap shot.
Right. And you get to choose 2 of those things, right?
Oh yeah, I get to choose 2. So, deal the damage d6 and create advantage. +1 forward to you or an ally acting on it.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh.
Yeah. So no advantage needed. You basically just slaughter the thing. You emerge. As it passes by. You basically just. How do you kill it?
Like I say, I come out of the bushes in a forward somersault and just come up and lunge it right through the neck.
Just in time too, because as Tyrion was casting his spell at the other one, this one had come around to try to flank him, and as it's jumping, you somersault out and you basically nail it and ride it to the ground, maybe almost to Tyrion's feet.
Yeah, almost to his feet.
Which I believe leaves 1, and that one is now trying to leap towards Aziz. Now Horace and Harrison, are you guys still heading towards the sanctuary, or what are you guys doing?
Turn this thing around.
Boris, 180 now.
Oh.
Are you all right? Fine, and I jump off.
And then once you jump off, he'll and he'll come back around and he'll turn around. Harrison, you can still be on him if you want.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll be on him.
Okay. And Horace, what do you do? Sorry. As you turn back around, you can see that basically this group of adventurers has dealt some pretty heavy blows to these creatures. You see one is dead, one is missing. Another has just been kicked in the face by an ostrich, and then the other one is actually jumping towards the ostrich now to try to take it down to the ground. So what will you do?
I take up my bow to aim, and I look at the creature, look at the ostrich, look at the creature, look at the ostrich.
The creature!
Right. And I take fire.
The ostrich is pretty intimidating. I'll give you that.
That's a 9. So I have to take something. Yeah, I'll say I have to take several shots, so I will reduce my ammo by 1.
Okay.
Then the damage. Nice. 6 points of damage.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah. So that's basically a one-hit kill. You basically you pierce through its head, and it basically just almost stops in midair from the impact and crumples to the ground. Aziz, that arrow almost seemed to come from nowhere. What do you do in response?
I'm looking to see where the arrow came from, and make sure it wasn't intended for me.
Damn it! I missed the ostrich.
Yeah, and you'll see Horace.
Ostrich.
Kidding. Looking back at Harrison like kidding.
That's not very funny. That's my friend.
And then so the one that you kicked in the face, Aziz, is going to sort of glance around, and it's going to sort of jump back into the forest and disappear into the foliage. While you're dealing with like looking at who shot the arrow and everything, it's gonna run away essentially.
Horace, you don't know how many friends I've lost already. His eyes start welling
You
up.
have friends?
Yes.
I'm waiting for when I make the ultimate mistake and call him Harold. I know it's gonna happen.
So Harrison, who's your new friend with the bear?
Oh, this is Horace. I ran into him a long time ago. He's crazy, but I like him.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, that could describe many of your friends, so welcome, Horace.
Thank you.
You're also my friend too, Tyrion.
That's what I mean.
Present company included.
Were those natural creatures or something else?
I'm dropping out of form and checking out the dead ones.
Okay. So you want to take a good close look at him?
Yep. Discern realities.
That would be it.
Yep. Perfectly natural.
So,
is there
well,
a way I could like Laura as an aid?
Well, so hold on one second. Let me pull up my thing. Let me pull up my moves.
Period.
Yeah, get that XP. Okay, yeah. So let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. You're gonna recognize immediately that these are unnatural, for sure. This is right in your alignment's wheelhouse. But even more so, kind of looking at the overall aesthetic, a single image is going to flash back to you from when you were an owl that one time and that creature was peering up over the wall. This isn't the same creature, but it's the same kind of thing, like some twisted experiment. And yeah.
Oh, these things got to go. Whatever this was the same thing we ran into the city. It was made by Stefan's wizard thing.
And some of them got away, which means, once again, he knows exactly where we are. Which is what Natalie warned.
I feel like I'm walking into some kind of family drama. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going into dog form now. I'm going to see if I can pick up a scent.
So, Horace, to explain what's happening here, we seem to have somehow caught ourselves in the meddlesome warlord fight, and we have to choose a side or we're killed no matter what we do. Whether we do something or whether we don't do something gets us killed.
I know that predicament. I said fuck that, and I left. You should do the same. So I did. I'm fine.
Well, the name of the game is Revenge.
We know for certain who our enemies are, but we don't know who our friends are.
Yes.
Well, you look friendly to me, so, I mean, I'm one. Boris is two.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you are most welcome.
Why, thank you. What's with the weird ostrich?
No, that's a dog.
He's a dog now.
That's the point. Yes, it was a halfling, now a dog. But it was an ostrich.
That's Aziz.
That's how she.
Wait, tell
That's how she grew
That
up.
explains nothing, sir.
I don't know. I think it explains quite a lot. Look at his eyes, and you'll always know that it's Aziz.
I walk
Never
up to
shoot
the
any
dog
creature with
straight.
eyes like that, and you'll be fine.
Speaking of Aziz, you are a tracking dog.
Yeah, hyena or something similar.
Okay. And what kind of things do you have to spend your hold on?
Hold on a second. Summon the pack, track scent, or finish the vulnerable.
Yeah, these are all good things. Okay, so what would you like to do?
I'm going to spend hold to track scent.
Okay, so you can track the scent of one of these creatures. They all smell pretty similar. So but in that they smell like death and decay. They smell like corpses essentially. However, there's basically like they basically scattered into different directions. So you will only be able to like track down one at the moment. Did you want to go after the one that you kicked in the face? Did you want to go after the one that got magic missiled?
Well, the one I kicked was probably the one closest to me and probably the first trail I picked up.
Okay, so so you can follow that into the forest. The others will do what?
I am literally copying the dog's movements.
I probably trying to catch up with Horace and explaining like how we got in the situation. Like, well, it all started off, I was playing my song in the tavern, and then an ostrich approaches me and goes, "Bark, bark." Oh, sorry, that's a chicken. It was more like it was pecking at the back of my head.
And you call me crazy?
I mean, do
How's that
you see
fair?
do you see the ostrich dog halfling?
I mean, you have a fair point there, sir.
Maybe we're all equally insane. It's not nice of you to judge people, Horace. You're the last person I would expect to be judging people.
Judging? I'm amazed. This is amazing. This is the most
I
fun
also
day
see
I've had
you
in a
have a
while.
new patch.
Which one?
Oh, Boris, are you getting neglected by your father? I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna like ruffle up his fur and stuff. Let me see that belly.
And he'll show his belly. But
He flops on his back, and I'm like laying on top of him.
I'm gonna go stay close to Aziz.
Okay. Yeah. So so when you look back up, Horace and you and Boris are everybody walks past you.
Yeah, like my head is inside the bear's mouth. It's like drooling all over me. I'm like, oh!
It's okay, he only bites if he gets excited.
I'm scared.
Aziz, you're gonna track this thing down to a to a small opening in some a small it's basically a small cave entrance. It looks about big enough for a bear to get through. And as you approach it, the smell of death is just so potent and strong that this has to be the place where this thing is layering at the moment.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to take a moment, look around, see if I'm being accompanied in here.
Tyrion and Rook are behind you.
Alright, I'm probably going to go on in.
You said it's big enough for a bear. Can I also crawl in?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'll move at the back of them.
Okay. Yeah, a moment.
I'll follow in pursuit once I realize we've been abandoned.
I'm a halfling on a mission.
Yeah. Yeah. So they. So they'll come up shortly after. They won't get too far behind. So yeah. Now it's big enough for a bear, but it is definitely like a sort of a cramped space. Like it's you'll definitely be putting. Like the dog will be okay. We'll have some movement, but Rook will probably be okay as well. But anybody else, it will be sort of a cramped fighting space. If you're looking to get into a fight. Aziz, as you approach, you can sort of peer in the darkness of the cave entrance, you can see two yellow orbs looking back at you. You hear a low growl.
I will return the growl.
It will say, "Go away."
Yeah, I can't talk like this, so.
Leave me be.
These creatures are made by twisting moon elf blood. Does anyone speak a bit of moon elf?
Hey, don't look at me.
I know a small bit from Fala.
Maybe you can search your lore and see if you can piece together any of what it's saying.
By the way, speaking like in common or like beast speech?
It's actually speaking. It's actually speaking common, but it's doing it with like the accuracy of someone whose like mouth has been too far expanded. Like it's really having trouble making the words.
Can I try and discern realities to see if I can understand it?
I think if you listen closely, you can piece together what it's saying. All it's saying is leave me be, go away.
Is it as if it were injured?
This is indeed the one that got smashed in the face.
Well, we should make like a banana and split, and what's to be left alone, let's leave it alone.
We can heal you in exchange for information.
Roll parlay.
Oh boy.
Sounds like you're trying to bargain with it.
Yeah, I should probably let someone else do that, but you know.
Would you like me to?
I would have probably, yes, but if you want to join in the parlay, because I'm going to fail, but...
Yeah, if you'd like to aid, Harrison.
Sure. What is it for bond? Is it 1 or 2?
One for each
Yeah.
bond. So we each have a bond, so it's 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I can aid, but maybe like I go, okay, so it's only a partial success. So I'm going to maybe like walk further into the cave as I'm explaining how we'll also help. And the healing is just extravagant. You it's like that episode of SpongeBob where like it's like you rub the chocolate on your skin and you look younger.
Well, so how are you? So yeah, so you're basically just getting closer to like dangerously close to the mouth of the cave.
Yeah, as I'm explaining, I'm like, oh, also our healing also makes you feel young and rejuvenated and flourishing.
And do you also have a thing that adds a bonus to that? To the aid that you can give?
It might. Yeah, I think my arcane art does. Let me see if I can roll that real quick.
Okay.
Because we're up to a 9.
So yeah, I do that, but I draw unwanted attention, and I'm very dangerously close to the mouth of the cave. But you get +2 instead of +1.
So that makes mine a 10.
Okay.
So as Tyrion's talking to the first one, the second one just comes out of the cave and tackles Harrison.
So all right, yeah. So what we got here? We got an 8, and then I'm sorry. What you choose? Attention.
Unwanted attention.
Okay. So okay, cool. Yeah. So you'll be able to do that. What's gonna happen is when you perform your arcane art, the monster is moved and accepts your parlay. However, the attention that is drawn comes from the call of like the bellows of the other creatures in the forest coming closer. And so you have a limited amount of time to do this before the others arrive to the to the cave as well.
Answer our questions, and we will heal you and let you go.
So I think, yeah. So I think you'll get enough time for maybe 2 questions. If you don't want to fight, if you want to fight,
Right.
yeah.
Well, me and the seas will kind of stand guard at the mouth of the cave.
Yeah, I'm already turning towards the incoming sounds.
Okay. What is the question you wish to ask?
What do you think? I mean, we know who created them. What is your mission here in the forest?
To capture the bard.
Wait, which one?
The pretty one.
It's your
There's no contest.
We don't
on
know anyone
that.
like that.
it's your old friend. It's clearly you that they're intent upon capturing. And does Stefan know that you're here, or is this just what was your friend's name? Your elf.
Fenric?
Frederick?
Is that who you're asking about? Fenric?
Yeah, the wizard friend.
Yeah, Fenric is his name.
Or is this just Frederick's play?
And he says, with a low, disdainful growl, almost as though it like hurts to say it, he says, Fenric.
Is there a way to set you free from Fenric?
And you'll see the well, that's question number 3, isn't it? So so at this point the howls have like the bellows have stopped, and Aziz and Rook, you are standing at the tree line, or you're sort of standing at the perimeter, at the edge of the perimeter, and the bellows have stopped. But you definitely don't think that they've gone away. What do you do?
I'm going in the woods.
Same here. I will put my head in the cave and say, hurry up.
And what exactly is your intention?
Finish them.
Okay. Give me a discern realities, because I think you're gonna have to find them.
Both of us?
Let's do Aziz. So go ahead and ask me a question.
What should I be on the lookout for?
So, so as you're moving carefully through the woods, you the bellows have stopped. I think there's 3 left. You're basically gonna want to watch the treetops, but while you're watching the treetops, coming towards you on the ground is the one that got injured with the magic missile, and it's sort of limping towards the 2 of you. But Aziz, you're not fooled. You know that these things are intelligent, and you know that they're setting you up for an ambush, essentially. So you can do with that information what you wish.
Admiral Akbar echoes in your head.
So the one that has the injury is basically looks like it's rallying for a last rush, and it's going to leap at Rook.
Okay.
Well, so what?
I will defy danger.
All right, and what do you intend to do, Aziz?
Just dodge out of the way.
I'm going to drop back in anticipation of another one popping in.
Okay. So go ahead and get out of the way. Defy danger, Rook. Oh, okay. So
Nope. My shoestring's untied and I trip.
No, dude, you trip over one of your knobs.
Yeah, my knobby slapped together and trips me up.
his knobs.
Mark X speed though.
So yeah, so basically it's going to basically move up towards you, and as it does, it's going to oh, Ben just gave out a community sub gift. Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate it. It's going to move up towards you, and as it does, 2 more creatures are going to emerge from the treetops. One is going after Rook. The other is going towards Aziz. Now, Aziz, you're ready for this, so I'm going to give you a +1 to whatever you're about to do. However, Rook is in a pretty bad spot. I think the one coming down at him is actually going to get the jump on him, and
So I actually want to um, I guess maybe defend Rook.
Okay.
Would you say I'm outnumbered?
Well, there's possibly, maybe.
Okay, well that's gonna matter.
Well, let's see what Aziz wants to do.
All right, so I'm going for the defend move.
Okay.
On the one. Well, I'm targeting the one that came out of the tree towards him.
Oof.
Wait, I got a +1.
Yes, you do. So, what will you do?
I am going to open up the attacker, giving Rook a +1.
Okay. And then, so the ambush has been triggered, and so you've stepped up to defend. So to give him a +1. The one that was coming for you, Aziz, is still going to come for you, however. But what did you have planned, Rook, with your outnumbered?
Well, if it just depends if I'm outnumbered or not. I have the underdog move, which gives me a +1 to armor.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so I would say it's 3-2 at this time, and then let's switch back over to well, so you got your +1. The ambush has been triggered.
Well, it'd be +2 with hit.
Well, he gives you a +1.
Aziz.
Well, he gives you a +1
Defend.
going forward. But that just means you get a +1 to whatever roll you made. Yeah. And that the other one is a +1 to your armor, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think the other one is still coming towards you, Aziz. As it sort of leaps forward, you see it's getting ready to take this inhale again. Rook, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna attack it back.
Okay.
Is there?
Second slash.
If you want to attack it, yeah.
Is it far enough away to where I could volley it?
No, it's right up in your face. You guys are surrounded on all three sides by these creatures. However,
Okay. Mark XP.
Is there anything us in the cave? We probably heard Rook say something. Is there anything we can come out and assist with? Since we heard that he was like.
Absolutely. I just wanted to resolve this this +1 that he's got real quick before I switch back over to you guys.
Oh yeah, I have a +1.
Yeah. So that makes it a 7. So you deal your damage to the enemy, and then the enemy makes an attack against you.
Okay. This is a straight D8.
Okay.
Oh.
So you do your damage, and it's going to exhale that gas again, and this is going to encompass you. You're going to start to feel kind of drowsy, Rook. And then what will you do to try to avoid it or resist it or?
Defy danger. hold my breath or something.
All right, yeah. Give me a Constitution.
Constitution.
Yeah.
7.
Okay, partial success. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. So I think the hard bargain would be, or maybe worse outcome. I think you can avoid getting the full effect, but I think it's still going to mess you up. You're going to take a -1 on all of your rolls for a moment.
Okay.
And then we will switch back over to the guys at the cave. Now you had a third question in mind, or did you, hearing the scuffle from behind you, did you want to address that?
Address it, obviously, I think. And I'm just going to say, please stay here and don't engage. I gave my word to heal you, and I will as soon as I have helped my friends.
Okay.
And I will turn and head out of the cave, trusting, possibly foolishly, that this thing won't attack us in the back, but hoping that the promise of healing is good enough. And I step outside, and I see that Rook is being pressed by this creature.
Yeah. And who's coming with you? Okay.
I'm assuming I didn't leave Harrison behind alone.
He's dangerously
Yeah, we
he's
both
dangerously
believed.
close to the edge of the cave. But yeah, they can follow. Yeah. So you'll see they're all surrounded, or both of them are surrounded when you run up, and Rook is looking like kind of out of it and dazed. Oh, actually, you know what?
How
Instead
many of these things are there?
3 of them. Instead of a -1 to everything, Rook, let's do just one thing. Let's do. Let's give you a condition.
Okay.
Let's give you the condition. Let's give you the condition shaky. So that'll just be a -1 on your dexterity stuff.
He's shaky and knobby.
Yes. Look at those knobs quiver.
I'm going to try and cast another magic missile, I think, at whichever of the 2 that's near him looks worse, if I can tell.
Okay. So that's what you're gonna do. What is Horus and?
No, I'm not. I'm going to mark XP.
What is Horus and Harrison plan to do as well?
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
It goes to 11, baby.
Okay, so go ahead and roll it. Do you have a target in mind?
The one on Rook, I want it to attack the nearest one to it.
Okay. And then Horus, what did you plan to do?
I'm assuming none of them would be surprised or helpless, so I don't think I can do a cold shot.
No, they're pretty much aware that the shit's going down.
Yeah, if that's the case, I'm just gonna shoot an arrow at the one furthest to the left, so the one close to Aziz, I'm
Okay.
assuming.
Go ahead and roll volley. Ooh, very nice. Okay, so go ahead and do your damage, and then
No.
and then whatever else it says. Yeah, just deal your damage. Yeah.
So, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
So, is there one on Aziz and one on Rook right now, or how many is on each of them?
There's 2 on Aziz and then 1 on Rook right now.
Okay, so can I have the one that's on Rook go and attack one of them on Aziz?
Yeah, that's fine. So that's what will happen. It will pounce on the one of the ones next to Aziz. Aziz, the other one is also taking sort of an intake of breath. The one that's right in front of you. What are you gonna do?
Oh. So, is the one intaking the breath? Has that one been wounded yet?
This one has not actually. Well, I guess it probably would have been by the other one, because I think it's the one that got pounced on by the other one before. So yeah, I'd say it's taken some damage.
So, being wounded and drawing in breath, you think that would count as vulnerable for me to use a hold to finish it?
I think if yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so just roll damage, or
Actually, you know what? I think the if I'm thinking vulnerable. I think if you wanted to finish the one that was on the ground, because I think he's pretty vulnerable because he's getting attacked by his own dude.
Yeah, I'll finish him.
Okay. Yeah, and then so you
hope for the best on the breath.
Yeah, so you can spend a hold to do that, and then yeah, the breath is going to come out. How will you defy that?
Juiced again.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, very nice. So yeah, so it puffs out again out of its nostril holes, and then you will sort of shake it off, and then Tyrion.
Back to me already?
Well, you failed that spell, remember?
I did. Thank you for reminding me.
You will take 2 damage. I don't even know if that gets through your armor, as you are attacked from behind by the very creature that you had to deal with.
Yeah, well. Let me check. Where's my armor? Oh, I have 1 armor, so I take 1 point.
Okay.
All right, well, then I guess I'm going to whack him with my quarterstaff.
Okay. Go ahead and attack. Or hack and slash, sorry.
Bat him away.
I have to, like, not say lash out. Like, I'm so conditioned to say lash out physically.
There's hack and slash. An 8.
Okay. So yeah, so you deal damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you.
All right. Where's my damage? It's a D6. But my strength is a +1. Do I add my strength to that, or?
No, you just roll your damage die.
6?
Yeah, you finish him.
I just backhand him and go, "Be gone, betrayer."
And at this point, Rook, what are you doing?
I'm like gasping, like.
Sucking wind.
Do I still have a guy on me?
Not on you. However, Aziz is surrounded again.
Yeah, I'll get up and I guess I will shoot my bow.
Okay, so you'll put a little space between the two, between yourself and them, and you'll go ahead and roll volley. Ooh, very nice. Yeah. Even with a -1, that's still an outstanding success. So yeah, so you line you've I like to think that you're like a little shaky or whatever, but like this is at this moment it's nothing you're not used to. Like after all like the dart throwing competitions when you're like drunk at the tavern and whatnot.
Now my bow is a D6, is it not?
You have 1 damage dice for everything. So it'll be your whatever your damage die is. Which is D6, yeah. Oh, sorry, D8.
His was an 8.
D8, sorry. Yeah, so you'll send an arrow sailing at the at one of the ones that are on Aziz, and the arrow will pierce its head. It'll crumple to the ground, leaving 1 left. At this point, it realizes that it is outnumbered, and it will take off running again back into the forest.
Okay. Missile it on the way out.
Yeah.
Howard.
Gotta do cast spell first.
Okay, partial success.
And I'm willing to draw some unwelcome attention from this.
Okay.
And where's my missile? 3 points.
All right. Yeah, and it blasts it, and it crumples to the ground as well. All of the creatures are dead.
Oh, that was a close one.
Do you require any healing?
No, I don't think I took any damage. Did I?
No, I don't think so.
Does anyone require any healing?
I'll
Nobody but the
pop
man
back.
in the cave.
I'll pop back into halfling form, but no, I don't need healing. I think Harrison's the only one that got hurt.
And that was by the bear. That was not by any of these monsters. Don't you insult me like that, sir.
Do you need
Hey,
healing?
watch where you're
I'm
putting that
not
pole.
insulting. I'm just saying you're the only one who looks bruised.
Listen, you have a ton bear lay on you.
I think we all acquitted ourselves admirably, Harrison included.
Thank you, Tyrion. And I'm gonna place my hands on my hips all sassily.
And I'll just
Now,
roll
if you
my
will
eyes.
excuse us, I believe we have a monster to heal in a cave.
Actually, I don't believe we do. I told him to sit tight and not to stab us in the back. He chose to stab me in the back and paid the price. He's dead.
Oh, and I'm going to like look down at the corpse and go, oh.
And you'll probably see like a small trickle of blood from my side.
Do you need healing?
It's a scratch. But thank you.
Do we want to still investigate the cave and see what we can find?
Absolutely. I'm gonna go in and do a discern realities in the cave.
Okay.
I will join them.
Okay.
Find all the things. Our 2 wisdom guys discern all their. Whoa! There we go.
Nice.
I see everything.
All right. You get to ask 3 questions. What would you like to know?
That makes up for the 4.
Yeah.
What here is not what it appears to be?
So, this cave looks as though it was taken from another creature that these guys basically just moved in. There's a small den in here. It looks like it did belong to a bear at some point, and that they killed it and basically just kind of took
Boris.
over.
I cover Boris's eyes.
Don't look, Boris. Okay. What here is useful or valuable to me?
So what's actually useful and valuable is actually not in the lair. It's actually the corpses of the creatures. This is obvious. As Harrison would probably be able to tell you, there are obvious signs of blood magic here, and these corpses are proof of that. The corpses of these creatures, they are unnatural, and I suppose if you could find a way to tie those back to the person that made them, or to any links from with Stefan, that would definitely be somewhat damning to him. These creatures are definitely abominations, and even it would look bad. Like nobody likes these things, even if they are being used on the same side as them. Like even the so it could be useful as a like, look what they're doing. Like look what
Right.
Stefan is approving of.
Especially if we combine it with the dead Crimson Blade, shortly down the path.
Yeah, because you killed the Crimson Blade.
There's
So-
also that. Yeah, that's actually probably even better.
It can't be relied on to even work with its own side. All right. What do we think for the third one? I think we know what happened here recently.
Is there anything that's not what it appears to be?
We did that one. Should we go for what should I be on the lookout for?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I guess that's the only one. I mean,
Sure. So the creature told you before it died that Fenric sent these specifically to try to capture the bard. You suspect that could be your dear friend Harrison, which means that Fenric is out to get him.
Or Clive, if we're trying to be nice about it.
Or Clive, yes. But if there's one attempt, there might be more. So,
yeah, that's probably it. So should we take one of these back to the sanctuary and see if they can have a look at it? And
but also the other thing too that you should be on the lookout for is that they definitely know you're here, because these things knew to look in these woods for the bard.
So we need to find a way of somehow concealing ourselves from Stefan's spy magic, his scrying eyes, and or a way to cause a distraction and not let on that we know he's watching us and lead him astray.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Of course.
So I have my bardic lore is spells and magics.
Okay.
Is there anything I can recall that I know would prevent or hinder this spying?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Go ahead and that's a roll, right?
It just says choose an area of expertise, and then when you first encounter an important creature, location, or item, your call, covered by your bardic lore, you can ask the GM any one question about it. The GM will answer truthfully, and then they may ask me what tale, song, or legend I heard that information in.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's a tough one because that's not any of those things necessarily, but it is spells and magics. Yeah, okay. So you can ask one question about it. All right, go ahead and ask.
I guess, like I said, is there a way that it can be prevented or hindered? Like, do I know anything that would, I guess, dispel it necessarily?
There are, there have been, known to be like wards and protections against these sort of things. Your own teacher probably used one for a decent amount of time, which is why he was so hard to find from the scryer, and why they could only get a very very approximate location of where he used to be. Um, but so yeah, so you think that some magic could be cast to ward against that. However, um, that would be within the realm of somebody like Fenric, or somebody who has access to some magic like that. Perhaps even Siegfried. Um,
I was going to ask maybe even like, I know Nana has some magical stuff and follows also somewhat magical. Would that be something within
oh
their
yeah, yeah,
realm?
yeah. Maybe possibly Fala. Yeah, possibly Fala could help you out.
Okay, yeah, I will relay that. When you say like spying magic or scrying magic or whatever, it's finally gonna like click in Harrison's brain. Like the two wires are gonna like zzz together, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, spying magic! I know a thing or two about this." And he's going to explain like, "Oh, my mentor, when he went missing for a while, nobody could track him because he had these glyphs or wards, or nobody really knew what it was, and I'm not entirely sure myself, but I'm sure Fala would know something about it."
Then it sounds like it's time to go have a conversation with Fala about glyphs, wards, and blood magic.
"Oh man, it might be a little bit awkward." And then like I'm like, he's gonna like blush and like scratch his hand behind his head and be like, "I was hitting on her, knowing full well she had a husband, and now they're reunited, and she is still totally hot."
But you did
Oh,
reunite them,
I know.
which was a very noble thing to do.
I know. Hopefully that gets me good in
I
with
don't think I
Janrick, right?
I am quite sure it will. You took great personal risk and showed extreme courage and sacrifice.
Well, you know me, the selfless kind of person, the selfless Harrison.
So as you guys are you guys just standing at the cave site and talking? Are you making your way back to Sanctuary? Are you what are you doing?
I think walking and
I
talking.
imagined we were making our way back.
Okay. So so in
Yeah, I mean, I've slung one of these bodies over my shoulder.
okay. So the attention that you draw, a voice will come cutting out through the
Oh, can we also bring the red cloak,
yeah.
the dead one?
Yeah, and so a voice will cut out. Tyrion, is that you? You'll see Zarthus emerge from the from the tree line. He's got like 5 of his cohorts with him, and he says, We thought we heard a commotion."
You did. Our problems are increasing steadily.
"What in the gods' names is that?"
An abomination created by A wizard named Fenric.
Hey, I have a name, you know.
No.
Yeah, he's looking at Horace.
Oh, you mean Horace? No, he's not an abomination. He's just a very strange man. And this is his bear, Boris.
He's so flaky.
We'll take that.
And then he sees the creature and he's like, "Oh God, what is that?"
That's the abomination.
And he says, "Good gods." He says, "So Stefan is wrapped up so Stefan's wizards are wrapped up in these creatures, are they?"
Stefan's wizards are creating these creatures, and they have them hunting Harrison in the woods. What's worse, it appears that Stefan can track us, which means that it's probably not safe for us to stay here. We bring more danger to you if we stick around.
Zarthus looks really calm when you say that, and he says, "I wouldn't worry about Sanctuary. Siegfried says that it's protected from things like that."
Well, he may believe that, but the fact remains that these creatures were waiting for us. So perhaps Sanctuary is protected, but that protection only extends out so far, which means they can track us to the borders of Sanctuary and then merely surround the place and wait for someone to step outside. Not a distinction with a difference in my mind.
Our troubles multiply, friend.
Indeed.
Argoth has my sister.
Argoth has your sister? How did
Yes.
this happen?
Apparently he's taken a liking to her. My father is in no position to deny.
Well, Argoth is not long. Well, let us go back inside Sanctuary where we are sure the protections cover us.
He says, we're on our way to Hawthorne. We cannot let this stand.
Come back to Sanctuary with us and let us make a plan together.
He's going to, he looks dark. He says, every minute wasted. And, he doesn't finish the sentence, but his face grows even darker.
Argoth will cut through your men like a hot knife through butter. We need to think about this smartly.
We will accompany you.
We have an idea.
Yeah, okay, so he'll accompany you back to Sanctuary. But he is, he's pretty much on a timer. If he doesn't hear something,
Yeah.
if he doesn't hear something he likes, he's gonna go.
As soon as we're in Sanctuary, I'm going to explain. Even if we can't figure out a way to keep them from tracking us, we can take one route to Hawthorne, and you take a separate route that is close to ours but not aligned, so that we draw them off. And while their forces converge on us, you can slip in and get your sister and steal supplies.
He says, the majority of our men will be pursuing the supplies. Only I and these 5 will be going to get my sister.
If you go in without our distraction, you will surely fail.
He says, I will use your distraction, but the primary focus must be getting the supplies.
I understand. We can do both. But let us talk. What's the new priest's name again?
Siegfried?
Yeah, we must talk to Siegfried and Fala to see what aid we can get in this, and then we will be on our way.
So he will impatiently sort of pace back and forth. but he'll follow your lead.
I'll just like grab him by the shoulders and look him in the eye and say, I was friends with your father before you were born. I will not let anything happen to your sister while I draw breath.
He nods.
It's the strongest oath I can give.
Yeah, he nods, and
then I'll release him.
Okay. And so what do you guys do?
Aziz, do you want to take this thing to Siegfried and see if he has any thoughts of how we can tie it back to Stefan? And Harrison and I will go talk to Fala. Don't know if that was a knock on the door or a dog.
Yes, I can do that.
And I'll hand off the grotesque monstrosity.
Okay.
Not you, Horace.
You're already carrying me. Come on, dude.
Okay, so that's what Aziz will do. Horace, what will you do in the meantime?
I think in standard, kind of, not confused, but like, befuddled as what to do. Everything turned very serious around these parts. Not used to it anymore. I think you might just follow Tyrion and Harrison, like, from a bit of a distance, like, but whilst like discussing this with Boris, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, really. I thought it was going to be a normal day. Just a bit of fishing, you know, a bit of foraging. No. Warlords, again.
Yeah.
We escaped that 5 years ago.
Boris is, like, really displeased with how things are unfolding. He had plans to laze about, like, every other day. But that is... Now he's got to do stuff. Yeah, he just looks mildly annoyed.
I mean, we're in the same boat. I mean, usually you're the boat and I'm on you, but now we're in the same freaking boat. You know, it's weird. I don't like this.
And Rook, what will you be doing?
I guess I'm updating the map, sketching out all all the areas in the garrison and at the general store where all the activity is. Just kind of premeditating the excursion.
Okay. Okay.
So what did I miss before I had to go away?
You and I are going to talk to Fala.
And Zarthus's sister has been taken by Argoth.
Oh no.
You liked her too, didn't you?
I like the mole.
I mean, she's female. She had a pulse, and she wasn't too mannish, so...
She was very friendly too.
True.
So Rook, while you're doing that, so there's this special move called Bolster, and usually it only works for, like, if you spend a week or two, like, planning something, but since I think for this case, if you want to use the move, I think I'd allow it, even if it's just for, like, this short amount of time. But basically what it does is you spend your time basically preparing, and it'll give you 1 preparation, and it'll give you a +1 to any roll that you make for the thing that you're specifically preparing for. Since you'll be spending your time doing that, like going over like the plan and everything, I think that would be appropriate to do.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Is that a roll or is this a move that happens?
So it's just a move that happens. And like I said, usually it takes like a week or two, but I think since your mind was there and you're like dedicating your time to like methodically going over the plan, I think I'll give that to you.
Plus, I was there, prior to now, so I kind of had a little bit of a head start.
Yeah. So you can do that. Horace says he's gonna stick with Tyrion. Harrison, what will you be doing?
I'm going with Tyrion to talk to Fala.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So let's do Aziz first. You're gonna go talk to Siegfried, right? Was that the plan?
Yes.
All right. So let's so what do we talk about?
Well, Tyrion was wanting to know if there's a way to link this back to Stefan or Fenric. But I mean, I will ask that, but I am more concerned about how do we prevent this from ever happening again?
Okay. Yeah. Siegfried. So Siegfried is contemplating, and he's going to look at the creature, and there's like obvious disgust in his expression, even though he's quite placid usually. He's going to say, he says, to stop it from happening again, I suppose we must take out the source. Uproot the weed.
Understood.
These abominations cannot be allowed to exist in this plane.
Agreed.
And he says, do you know how they are created?
I've heard others speak. Harrison knows more, but apparently blood magic using moon elf blood.
And when you say blood magic, his eyes will widen and he'll say, he'll say, this cannot be. How could they manipulate that? And he says, I will need some time to meditate on this. But I think the best thing moving forward is to stop all those that practice this, and if there is knowledge of these practices, to abolish it.
Oh, there is a moon elf that accompanied us here, who was a first-hand victim to these magics.
I shall speak with him. And he'll just ask you to send him his way whenever he has time.
Will do. I believe others of my troop were headed there anyway, so I will catch up with them.
Okay. So So yeah, so Fala and what was his name? Mal something. Malfolio. So yeah, so Fala and Malfolio are sitting at their little camp. Nana's there too, and Malfolio is still looking like really banged up, but like he's basically like laying in a bedroll and being tended to by Fala, and but some color has well, what little color he does have has returned to his cheeks, and he's looking a little bit more vibrant in his eyes. So when you guys approach, Follow will stand up and give the lot of you a deep, reverent bow, and she will say, Harrison, Malfolio was just recounting your acts of bravery within the castle walls.
Yeah, to call that bravery, that was parlaying, but I'll accept it. Thank you. And I will also give a courteous bow. But then, like when my head lowers, I'm like, ugh.
My husband says that no one can match your wits in high stress situations.
Thanks, I've had years of experience. Your husband is such a... He's a strong man to be hanging on for that long, too.
He's an arrogant fool. He should not have even been in that prison. He should have known to keep his nose out of other people's business.
My apologies. He's gonna nervously like take out a few inches back and ooh, oh my. He's getting scolded and I'm gonna stay back.
He's going to say, it is a curse that I only speak the truth, and I seek out to correct injustice where I see it.
And that is admirable, and I'm sure that's the reason you married him, Fola. Anyway, my friend Tyrion has a question here for you.
Ah,
Indeed.
yes, Tyrion.
It appears that Stefan is able to watch us wherever we are, except possibly within the bounds of the sanctuary. But the moment we stepped outside, there were more of his blood magic abominations waiting to pounce upon Harrison and attempt to carry him away. We are trying to figure out, one, how to tie these abominations back to Stefan in an attempt to depose him from power, and two, how to prevent him from spying on us from a distance. We were hoping that some of your readings and knowledge may have come across answers to either of these along the way.
So, the first question is how to tie it back to Stefan, and then the second question is how to.
If there's a way to protect, we know that magics exist because Melvin has done it, but we don't know if it's anything that she's come across in her readings.
Oh, okay. To stop the scrying. So okay. So she will so actually Malfolio will step in, butt in, and he'll say, your friend Harold the Great, how did people come to know of his deeds?
Through Harrison's songs, mostly, I believe.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, would you like me to perform one?
And this seems to be effective, even things that aren't true. Once people begin to think about them, they cannot be unthought.
I suppose so.
Yeah, I suppose. And I mean, they're not all fake. I mean, there's a little bit of exaggeration, but they really did happen.
And so yeah, so he suggests possibly writing a ballad about it and being able to perform it to spread the news across the land, or at least to sow some rumors that might put questions and doubts in people's mind.
Stefan's seeing eyes.
I think he was talking about the blood magic.
Yeah, the blood magic.
Ah.
In response to the scrying, Fala says, I can use my magics to help you. It will call for a powerful reagent. Luckily, I have one.
Oh, right.
And she will remove from her satchel the very carefully clothed lindworm scale.
Wow.
Not in front of your husbands.
I know it is wrong to return a gift, but I think in this case we can make an exception.
No. What gift?
And she'll turn to Malfolio and she'll say rather coldly, if you had died in that prison, I would be with the bard now. So count yourself lucky that you have survived, and think about what you have done.
Oh, Harrison. You totally cock-blocked yourself.
And
Harold is fucking wheezing in the afterlife.
well, and Tyrion, you're probably and Aziz as well. You're probably insightful enough to know that that she's probably just like being mean to her husband. But
Just being venomous.
yeah, but it's still pretty.
It's particularly damning though.
Yeah.
Poor
And
Harrison.
and she says that she can use magic to and the lindworm scale as a component to create an item that when carried with you will protect you from scrying. However, it will take some time, probably about a week's worth of time.
I mean, we'll take what we can get.
In the meantime, we should go rescue Zotha's sister. And possibly lead Stefan on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, what time is it? Is it like getting close to nighttime or anything?
No, I'd say you're probably about midday.
Okay.
Since we can't shield ourselves from his scrying, we may as well make him think that we don't know. And so maybe we just try and meet as many people as we can along the road and sing the songs of Fenric's abomination. Or abominations. And blood magic that is not only going on under Stefan's nose, but that he is encouraging and even requesting. Expose them for the bad dudes they are in the way that only Harrison can.
Especially throw in the stories of the vampiric creature at the Blood Bowl. I'm sure several people might have seen that moving around.
Yep. Argoth's traitorous ambush of Harold, the vampiric creature, the weird spider thing on the walls, the monkey monsters that even kill their own allies.
Yeah, as you guys are like listing in, Harrison's like writing down notes. What
Coming up
rhymes
with
with
good
this?
rhymes on the fly.
Okay. so so you have some composing to do, um, but right at the moment, what are we planning to do?
Rescue Zarthus's sister, I suppose?
Okay. So daylight is not on your side. He intends to go immediately. The raid on the supply was scheduled for tonight. He intends to go immediately though, and just try to get. He doesn't really have a plan. And it shows. But he's intent on getting as close to the situation as possible. Even if there's nothing he can do at the moment.
So we need to convince him to at least partially travel with the group that is trying to get the supplies and then split off when they're closer to town. And we need to take a different, but a different route that takes possibly a similar amount of time and looks like it's converging somewhere nearby to try and draw forces off from the town. How do we do this? Because it seems like there's no way we're going to be able to get Argoth as long as he can see us. So I think we're on decoy duty until we can get this magic item.
Well, we don't know whether or not Stefan can communicate what he knows to Argoth directly.
That's true. So do you think we take a more circuitous route and then all of a sudden just cut straight in toward Argoth and hope that the surprise change in direction catches him off guard?
That's what I would think.
All right, let's go for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Question for everyone: wouldn't the surprise attack be better at nighttime, however?
I think that the plan is shortly after nightfall, but it's a half-day travel, so.
Right, but we got, revenge guy over there, Sarvis, was he?
Yes.
And he looks like he's ready to, pounce.
Yes, that's why we need to convince him to align himself with the rest of his forces and just peel off at the right moment. And we need to be nearby, but not so close that an intercepting force would rumble us both.
So how would you like to go about doing that? The convincing, I mean.
That would be Tyrion or Harrison. I mean, he's kind of a loose cannon at this point.
Yeah, I think maybe Harrison and I go talk to him. I aid Harrison by giving the inside info.
Okay.
But Harrison's silver tongue does the talking.
All right.
Tell me what I need to say.
And go ahead and yeah, tell him what you need, and then you'll roll for it, for the aid.
So he's extremely worried about his sister, but if he runs in half-cocked, he's going to get himself and his 5 men killed. He's agreed to trust us as a distraction, but timing is important. If he goes before we get there, he's still going to get killed. So we need to convince him to stick close to the bulk of the forces until they get close to the city, and then break off and make his move after nightfall, as we will make our move after nightfall.
And there's always Cusco's poison.
What's that?
There's always Cusco's poison.
Yes, there's always Cusco's poison. We do have a few tricks up our sleeves for Argoth. I do have a spell up my sleeve, which is not exactly honorable, but what he did to Harold wasn't honorable either, so I'm willing to suspend the rules of fair play to take him off the board.
There are no rules after what he did.
Agreed. May Janrik forgive me. So shall we go and convince the boy to play it smart? Or perhaps not.
As Harrison just walks away.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
fine. Instead, I'll take lead. Don't you worry.
The puppy's losing its shit.
The puppy's doing what?
The puppy's losing it.
Oh, the puppy.
So as these two are talking to Zanrith, I was going to inform Fala's husband, can't remember the name, that Siegfried wanted to talk to him about what he knows or witnessed about the blood magic.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll explain to you that he was pretty much unconscious for most of the time, but he knows that the moments of lucidity that he had, he saw that Fenric is not alone in this. He had associates that he was working with, and there are a multitude of these creatures in their service. He believes, and he believes that they are there's a network of these blood mages, essentially.
Oh, that's bad. How many apocalypses at once?
All the apocalypses.
Well, I will tell him to share that info with Siegfried when he feels well enough to, or
Okay.
Siegfried might come to you, just to let you know that that's coming.
Okay.
And then I want to talk to Nano.
Oh. Come sit down, my dear.
So, you know, they're not going to stop coming for that book.
Yes, I don't really want to carry it anymore. But I'm too afraid to not carry it. Perhaps I could trust it with you.
I was hoping you'd say that.
I just don't want it to fall into the wrong hands.
What's wrong with burning it?
I was going to wait till I wasn't in line of sight.
If you think that the book should be destroyed, perhaps that is for the best. There is much knowledge in here. Knowledge that would be lost forever. Good things as well as bad.
Can we tear the bad parts out of the book and just destroy those?
And she says, I don't see why not.
But it will still pose a risk to you because they will not know that knowledge is no longer in there.
I suppose they wouldn't know it if we burned the book anyway. They would just think I was hiding it.
Well, it depends on whether or not more than. Well, apparently, several of these warlords have powerful magics, so they might be tracking the book the way they were tracking us.
Oh, Tum Tum, I have no doubt. He has much more magic at his disposal than any of the warlords.
We can light Tum Tum on fire.
So, what if we destroy the notes on the ritual? I carry the book for a while to draw the danger from you, and should we all come out of this alive, you can have the book back.
And she blushes a little and she says, "Oh, you mistake my intentions. I don't need the book for myself. I mean, it should be in a library somewhere, where all people can access it for generations to come. There is powerful and good knowledge in there that has been lost to the ages. Such as that recipe for bread."
True, but you would be better to find such a place than me. I can protect the book, but I cannot take it to its final destination.
Oh, yes. Before our home was ravaged by the orcs, there was a fantastic library there.
I am sorry you lost your home.
I fear that you... Oh wait, have you guys told anybody about the orcs invading yet?
I'm pretty sure we told everybody.
Okay, yeah, so she says, well, I fear that, or I hope that you do not lose your home as well.
Yes, that would be quite terrible.
And she says, I may not be much to look at, but anything I can do to help.
That is greatly appreciated.
And she'll give you a hug, Aziz.
And I'll hug her back.
Yeah. And she'll take a moment to compose herself, and she'll say, do you really think that your friend can bring Harold back?
I have no doubt.
Do you think he wants to come back?
I know he does.
And yeah, and then she'll fall silent. What else is going on? Oh, yeah. So you guys, are you guys like planning your plans of attacks and whatever? Because I think that would be a perfect. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm just kind of like I said, preparing. I'm gonna wait till they get back from wherever they run up to, and yeah, at that point, we'll plan our attack.
And Harrison and I were going to talk to Zarthus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You guys are gonna go talk
to convince
Zarthus.
him to chill out just a little bit.
All right, cool. So so go talk to Zarthus. What's that look like?
And I'm like, pep talk. You got this. You got this.
Yeah, he's so he sees you coming from across the way, And he looks at Tyrion. He's actually a little angry at this point. He says, "So, do we have a plan or not?" And he's gonna say that to Tyrion.
Tyrion nods. We do have a plan.
And let me
Harrison?
tell you all about it. And I bust out in like some funky rhymes as I talk about the plan. So let me tell you something.
So, I'm sure that there's a story or a legend or something that you could like bring up that would have like the same sort of theme about like a hero foolishly going into a losing battle and to save somebody and dying, like some tragic story like that, that you can kind of sum up in like a few minutes perhaps.
There was a great man called Harold the Great.
Pull up, pull up.
Pull up.
So, but your words will move him, and he will say, after you convince him, he will say, very well, I will wait. I will wait for nightfall. However, not a moment after.
That is the plan. Please do not wait a moment after.
And he says, what kind of distraction will you be providing?
We'll be charging in through the other end of town, and we expect Stefan will be watching us from whatever magic he is using, and will know exactly where we are. And as we will be going in very boldly, we expect he will be sending forces to intercept.
And if not, we'll just start setting stuff on fire.
Yes.
He says, there's not just soldiers there, there's people in the town as well. Innocent people.
Not houses, just stuff.
And he says, as long as we get the supplies and I get my sister.
And Jenric willing, Argath.
And he says, if I see him, I'll cut him down where he stands.
No,
Take a
just
number.
Get your sister and get out. Leave him to us.
And yeah, he'll nod. Horace, what are you doing?
Bear snuggles.
Nah, I think like as Sarva said, like what kind of distraction I would just like pulling up with Boris. He's just fucking like walking by and like just mumbling crazy nonsense like shenanigans. It's like yeah, it's just the obvious fucking distraction right there.
Yeah, well, and you're actually one of the people who can actually go into the town without being because you don't have a poster on the wall, so. Of course, Boris might be another issue though. People might freak out about the bear.
Nah, he's just my older brother. He's very hairy. Don't mind him. Yeah, don't mind him.
So Zarthus says, so he's got he has like some manpower, but definitely not enough to take on the entirety of the forces that are accumulating there. So any distraction will have to be done like you won't be able to rely on his guys to like bail you out by force. He says that you're gonna have to be sneaky, especially if they're going for the supplies, because they'll have to dedicate most of their manpower to that.
Understood.
So you'll have to have some kind of exit strategy. And if he can help you, he will, but he thinks that it's very unlikely that he'll be able to help you. As far as like in that way, like in the manpower region. However, he does kind of look over to your giant friend, and he says, "What about him?"
I completely forgot about the giant.
And perhaps we'll end on that note.
A good place.
All right. Yes, that brings us to the 3-hour mark. So with that, let's do our outro stuff. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate it. We stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week we'll be doing our dungeon crawler game, where you can actually come and spend points to redeem things for the players and sometimes for the GM. It's a pretty wild time. There's wild magic, draws from the deck of many things. It's a pretty great time, and you earn points by watching. You can then spend those points on Twitch to jump into the game. With that. Also check out dndwow.com. They're our good friends. They send us dice to give away sometimes, and they have actually set us up with a code. If you go to their website dndwow.com and type in the Action Sturge at checkout, you can actually get 10% off of all metal colored dice. And we want to thank the regular Action Sturge crew, Terry, Forkpuff, and Deacon, and of course our esteemed guests, Morat Cake and the Plastered Dragon. Now the Plastered Dragon, you also stream on your channel. Go ahead and give.
Twitch.tv/The Plastered Dragon. We are a charity channel for Extra Life, and we stream D&D. Video games, board games, and then a random assortment of things on Saturday, one of which is superheroes that John here is involved in. And we get into all kinds of trouble there. So always a good time over there. Anyone's welcome to come by and just check us out. And if you see something that you like, or if you want to join in, message us. And we always like to add new players.
Awesome. And then, and
aha, the element of surprise. Sorry.
Been sitting on that all evening, huh?
I have. When I wear this shirt, I feel like I need to charge up to strangers and just go, ah, and just see what they do. But I haven't been able to bring myself to do it yet. One day, maybe when COVID is over and people are less terrified of other people running at them.
That's wonderful. And of course, like I said, if you liked what you saw here today, like I said at the beginning, check out our socials. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, and you can come into our Discord and check out what we got going on there. We've got, if you're interested in ever playing in our dungeon crawler games, you can jump in there and play. And I may be mistaken, but I think I see that Shared Experience is still playing. And that usually never happens. I would really like to give them a raid. They've done it to us quite a few times. So we'll get that queued up. And thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you next week.
Woo! Oh wait, I'm not supposed to do that until